Hello and welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we look at the businessman who cold-bloodedly killed two men to avoid paying a £400,000 debt and has now been jailed for life. Jonathan Houseman has been sentenced to serve a minimum of 40 years in prison for the murders of Will Henry and Brian McIntosh. The 31-year-old and 29-year-old respectively were found shot dead in a Range Rover after police were called to a car park at the Albion Works in Brilley Hill. Mr McIntosh was shot 4 times in the left side of his face and neck, and Mr Henry was shot twice. Jurors at Birmingham Crown Court deliberated for 2 days before convicting 33-year-old Mr Houseman, formerly of Quarry Park Road, Stourbridge in the West Midlands, for both murders. Tanya Hassan, Mr McIntosh's fiancee and mother of his 2 sons, aged 9 and 3, said the youngsters have lost their hero and protector. He has been cruelly and viciously taken from them. The pair were supposed to be married, but she said, "Now I will never get to experience one of the best days of my life." Mr McIntosh was described by Miss Hassan as a hard worker at the heart of the community who mentored at his local boxing gym alongside Mr Henry. She said he had helped pay for funerals of 2 locals whose families could not afford the bills as well. Mr Henry, who was also a stepfather, was killed when she was 4 months pregnant with their first child, a girl. Miss Ula said, "I had to continue the remaining 5 months alone, completely broken, whilst mourning my dead partner. I gave birth, attended scans and will raise our daughter alone. He has been robbed of an amazing father," she said, adding she will never know him. Passing sentence at Birmingham Crown Court, Mr Justice Martin Spencer told Mr Houseman, who had no previous convictions, "It was only you in the back of the car who shot these 2 men without warning, cold-bloodedly. It was effectively an execution. Wherever it was Brian and Will were headed, they never got there. As Brian turned the car and started to move forward, you shot them both in head, the bullets passing through their brains, causing instant death." Justice Spender told the court that Mr Houseman initially got out of the car, but then briefly returned to turn off the engine, lights and windscreen wipers before making his escape. The murder weapon has never been recovered and is thought to be in criminal circulation. The court heard that Mr Houseman had previous dealings with the victims, who worked together in waste clearance and had hired them to clear a site in Hell Zone. However, the jury heard that he didn't pay them for the work they did. The judge declined to hand Mr Houseman a rare whole life harem after he lured the men to their deaths, saying, "I considered you carried out these offences as an act of desperation," adding, "You saw no other way out of the financial predicament you had got yourself into." Turning to Mr Avery, Mr Justice Spencer described his offences as a forlorn attempt to assist Jonathan Houseman in avoiding justice. Mr Avery, of no fixed address, was cleared of murder but convicted of perverting the course of justice. The 34-year-old was jailed for 2.5 years. So what are your thoughts about Jonathan Houseman and how he went about murdering 2 men over a £400,000 debt? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.